Cherry blossom bloom in Central Park, April 17, 2024. I am walking towards the main monument of West Side Central Park South entrance at the Columbus Circle Drive. Tulips are in full bloom at Columbus Circle, the roundabout small park with a towering monument to Christopher Columbus. View of cherry blossoms from 86th Street Traverse in Central Park West. View of 257th and 262nd Central Park West Inc. apartment building complex. Gorgeous. New Yorkers jogging at the West Drive. In the springtime from April to May, the cherry blossom trees in Central Park attract nature lovers from all over the world. It's easy to see why, as the splendor of their blooms is as stunning as it is explosive. .300 Central Park West Building. Full bloom of the cherry blossom trees is a sight to behold, and it's typically reached within a week after the first buds open. Symbolic of the fleeting nature of life, their season is short-lived, and the blossoms stick around for just a small amount of time before their delicate petals fall and cover the ground in a blanket of pink and white. Early to mid-April, Yoshino cherry trees and magnolia trees, which also have beautiful blooms. The cherry blossom trees in Central Park can be found mainly between 72nd Street and 96th Street. The highest concentrations are around the reservoir, Cherry Hill, Pilgrim Hill, Great Lawn, Cedar Hill, and the area just south of Cedar Hill, between 74th and 77th Streets.
Cherry blossom, lapit sa reservoir, Central Park.
There are two main species of cherry trees in Central Park. These are the Kwanzan cherry and the Yoshino cherry. The peak bloom time for each varies annually and depends on the weather. The Yoshino cherry trees in Central Park were brought to the U.S. as a gift from Japan in 1912. This hybrid cherry, which can reach heights of 35 to 45 feet, produces light pink, almost white, slightly fragrant flowers. Expect to see the first buds of these trees blossoming ahead of any other. Before the leaves appear, the simple 5-petal flowers emerge in clusters of 5 or 6. As the tree's leaves grow, they typically develop first as a bronze color, later changing to a darker green as the summer approaches. The Kwanzan cherry, also known as the Japanese cherry, is an ornamental cherry tree most commonly found in Japan, Korea, and China. This particular tree has double-petal pink flowers, which start to bloom in early May, after the Yoshino cherry. When these trees first bloom, their leaves are bronze-colored and then turn from dark green to yellow to orange, and finally copper in autumn.
My pink, my white, my pola.
These trees are fairly small, growing to reach 25 to 30 feet, and have a wide vase-shaped spreading crown. The lifespan of the Kwanzan cherry, which does not produce fruit, is 15 to 25 years. The Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis Reservoir, also known as Central Park Reservoir, is a decommissioned reservoir in Central Park in the borough of Manhattan, New York City, stretching from 86th to 96th Streets. It covers 106 acres, 43 hectares, and holds over 1 billion US gallons of water. Cherry blossoms blooming at the west side of Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis Reservoir in Central Park. The reservoir is a popular place of interest in Central Park. Many joggers have used the 1.58 mile to 0.54 kilometers. Stephanie and Fred Schumann running track, including Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, Madonna, and Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis. The track is separated from the water by a fence installed in 2003 to recreate the original 19th century cast iron fence. The design was based on a section of the original fence discovered by scuba divers at the bottom of the reservoir. Beautiful and peaceful place. Track around all reservoir, great for jogging and taking a walk. If you don't look in the distance, you would think you are in the middle of forest and next to a lake, based on your surroundings. Track around Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis Reservoir is definitely not crowded and not many tourists, or even native New Yorkers, know about it. Track is not paved, great for runners, but little bit dusty. Although there are some spots which are crowded, most of the route is scenic and wonderful to run. I also feel this reservoir is the best picture of the Manhattan skyline. For tourists, the ideal time to visit is in spring. You can view the most important towers shaping Central Park South Corridor, aka Billionaire's Row. Billionaire's Row is the name of a group of ultra-luxury residential skyscrapers. Several of these buildings are in the superdome category, taller than 1,000 feet 300 meters, and are among the tallest buildings in the world. Most of these pencil towers are on 57th Street, Central Park South. The area is notable for containing some of the most expensive residences in the world. The top two floors of 157 sold to Michael Dell for $100.47 million in 2015, setting a record for the most expensive apartment ever sold in New York. Another bi-level apartment in the building was bought by hedge fund manager Bill Ackman for $91.5 million. The top penthouse at 432 Park Avenue went to Saudi retail magnate Fawaz Al-Hokair for $87.7 million. And hedge fund manager Kenneth C. Griffin is said to have bought 4 floors at 220 Central Park South for $238 million, breaking 157's record for the most expensive homes sold in New York City and setting a new record for the most expensive homes sold in the United States. Also known as the Gothic Bridge, it's between the Central Park Tennis Center and the Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis Reservoir. One of the 3 cast iron bridges in Central Park, most elegant. In 2009, Delta Fountains and the Central Park Conservancy worked together to design and manufacture the floating fountain that sits in the middle of the large Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis Reservoir. The fountain provides aeration for the large body of water and adds a decorative accent to the area. Bridge number 28, aka Gothic Bridge, is a 120 years old beautiful cast iron 19th century bridge designed by Calvert Vaux, Feckernell Iron Works. Central Park Tennis Center is huge tennis club with 30 courts, a snack bar, locker room and pro shop. Parking for your vehicle is available here. The cast iron spandrels are developed like Gothic windows modified into wind-blown curves conforming to the oval contours of the arch. Floral crockets adorn the inside of the curves. Graceful and distinctive, the archway is 37 feet 5 inches at its widest point and reaches a height of 15 feet 3 inches. Gothic Bridge is 11 feet 7 inches wide and has a 93-foot railing. The North Gatehouse in New York City's Central Park is a historical architectural gem that holds significance within the park's rich history. Located near the corner of the reservoir, the North Gatehouse is a charming structure that adds to the park's overall allure. The reservoir's clear water is home to ducks and other wildlife. Joggers here living at West Side Apartments are lucky to have the best running track in Manhattan. Eastern gray squirrel. These fuzzy gray, large-tailed rodents are commonly found in larger population groups. Young mothers will breed once in the spring. Central Park is home to innumerable rock outcrops, making it one of the few places in the city with visible evidence of the island's ancient bedrock. Known as Manhattan schist, this bedrock was formed around 500 million years ago and contains other minerals, including quartz, mica, and feldspar. The rocks add aesthetic beauty to the Central Park landscape with cherry blossom trees and greenery giving the trifecta of such majestic beauty. The reddish-pink vibrant color of this cherry blossom is amazing. Kanhizakura, average blooming period in mid to late March. This tree with its dark pink, bell-shaped flowers is native to Taiwan and Okinawa where it blooms as early as January and February. In the parks of Tokyo, it is not usually in bloom until mid-March, but still among the earliest blooming varieties. Named after Kawazu Town on the Izu Peninsula, where the tree variety was first grown, the Kawazuzakura is among the earliest flowering cherry trees. Large numbers of them bloom during the Cherry Blossom Festival in Kawazu, which is held annually in late February and early March. The Stranger's Gate, one of 20 named entrances to the park, which was designed in 1858 by Frederick Law Olmsted and Calvert Vaux. If you pass through the gate and climb the 77 stone steps to the top of Great Hill, you will enter, in the words of Rebecca Chase, a fairy tale, a wilderness welcoming all strangers, as Olmsted and Vaux intended.
Taas to ng bangin.
View of Central Park West 105th Street. 455 Central Park West condo from the top of Great Hill. View of the pond and Gapstow Bridge on top of the giant rock cliff facing Central Park South Billionaires Row. Gapstow Bridge, the beautiful schist bridge found at 62nd Street in Central Park, was initially built in 1874 and designed by Jacob Ray Mould. Hallett Nature Sanctuary is a hidden nature preserve within Central Park, offering a scenic aerial view of the pond and Billionaires Row. Scenic view on top of Hallett Nature Sanctuary, hidden from many tourists. The dense woodland landscape makes it an escape from the urban setup of New York. Natural vibe, contrasting with city life. A hidden cove within Central Park, of many small winding forested trails. Also secluded nooks, some of which have artistically wooden carved benches and railings.
Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.
Ho ho ho!